DC's new line of comics continued this week with the release of Absolute Batman number 10. This new take on the Caped Crusader is set in a brand new universe that was created by the evil new god Darkseid. Here the heroes don't have any of the advantages that they have in the mainline universe. For example, Batman isn't a billionaire socialite, he's a mountainous civil engineer with biceps bigger than his head. He doesn't have the wealth and resources you come to expect from Batman, but he's still pretty inventive, creating an arsenal out of everyday items. And his allies are characters like Harvey Dent, Edward Nygma, Waylon Jones and Oswald Cobblepot. Despite all the changes, some things remain the same. Gotham City is a corrupt cesspit where the wealthy elites do whatever they want. The first story arc showed how they paid the citizens to riot and commit crimes in order to oust Mayor Jim Gordon and initiate martial law. When Batman uncovered their involvement, it didn't really change anything though. Hell, if anything, it made them even more brazen. But Batman got a measure of revenge by brutalizing the orchestrator Black Mask. Since that night, Gotham has become a police state, with a mysterious new prison being built off the coast, Ark M. There are multiple Ark facilities around the world, with M being the latest. The last issue focused on Batman trying to find his friend Waylon Jones, who had been kidnapped by the authorities and taken away to the Ark M facility. So Batman broke in and discovered it was not a typical prison. It's a huge, cavernous laboratory, almost the size of a town, where the prisoners are being experimented on, and Batman came face to face with one of the graduates of their program, Bane. He's a towering wall of muscle who makes Batman look minuscule by comparison. He's educated and well-spoken, but when he uses venom he becomes even bigger, some 15 feet tall and probably just as wide. The last issue ended with Batman knocked unconscious as Bane said he was ready for surgery. I think if there's one word that describes this issue, it's grotesque. If I didn't include that in the thumbnail for this video, it's because it has too many characters. The Ark M facility is truly a hideous place doing unholy experiments. Batman spends months trapped there and makes multiple attempts to escape, although each time he is stopped by Bane, as if this was all a big test. Even when he looks like he's given in and become passive, really he's just biding his time. The narration that runs through the issue is by the mysterious Doctor Arkham, who notes that in order to prep Batman they had to surgically remove dozens of objects that he had hidden inside of his body, things like gas pellets, blades and so on. I don't think we want to know where he was keeping that collapsible spiked war club. Yeesh. Batman was very prepared for people capturing him and trying to remove his costume, but I guess he didn't count on them having a whole surgical team to back them up. Even with his secret arsenal removed, that doesn't mean he's incapable of weaponizing whatever else he can get his hands on. I think the most Batman AF moment in this issue comes when Batman goes on hunger strike and is fitted with a tube directly into his stomach to keep him nourished. There are a bunch of bats in his cell with him, and so he gathers up their guano to create a homemade explosive. When the guards try to stop him, he sprays them with his own undiluted stomach acid, which really burns them, and pulls out some of his own teeth to use as makeshift knuckle dusters. It's so over the top, but this is one of the things I like about these Absolute comics. They are not subtle in the slightest because we live in an age where subtlety goes over most people's heads. During his stay at Ark M, Batman managed to escape a few times. His first escape happened because the doctors missed the fact that he had a lockpick embedded in his gums, ouch, and he was able to wander the Ark M facility. Like any good evil base of operations, each department was clearly labelled, and those of us that have an encyclopedic knowledge of Batman villains were in for a treat. The first area he comes to on level 246, and no, I checked, I don't think that number is a nod towards any old issues of Batman or Detective Comics. He finds the Helfram experiment. This is an overt reference to Dr. Karl Helfram, also known as Dr. Death. He was one of Batman's earliest villains and was a poison gas specialist. He also appeared during Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo's New 52 Batman run, where he was reimagined as a beastly mad scientist with out-of-control bone growth. Other areas include transmutation and plasticity, the K.L.A.Y biome, the Strange Corridor, the Isley biome, and the Langstrom experiment. Some of the test subjects seen here are utterly hideous and bring to mind the Unmen from classic Swamp Thing comics, specifically the ones drawn by Bernie Wrightson. The subjects of the Langstrom experiment in particular are especially disturbing. They're wounded, broken people that have been made into weird human-animal hybrids, and they just want everything to end. Likewise, the swirling mass of people in the K.L.A.Y biome are in agony, and all they want to do is have it end. And that's not the only Swamp Thing reference here. The Isley biome seems to be housing the Green, an elemental force that is connected to all plant life. The green wants to be released, and the tree people within are not friendly. Perhaps unsurprisingly, there is one friendly figure though among the monsters, and that's Waylon Jones. When Batman was first captured, we're shown a massive egg, which presumably housed Waylon while he underwent his transformation. By the end of the issue, the egg has hatched, and Waylon has become a gigantic alligator with a mouthful of dozens of razor-sharp teeth. Bane accidentally released Waylon while he was beating up Batman, and Waylon showed his strength immediately by knocking Bane off his feet, crushing several doctors and turning them into paste. Waylon also ate a few of them for good measure. However, when Batman calls him by his name and identifies himself, the pair reunite and go on the run with Batman riding him like a horse. Throughout the issue, there had been a series of flashbacks showing how supportive Batman had been of his friend Waylon as he prepared for a title match with Bibbo Bobowski. No one believed that Waylon could win. Bobowski was just too tough. But Batman never gave up on him and encouraged him to keep training, and he would win. Batman demonstrated that same spirit himself, despite how unlikely it was that he would escape Ark M. When the doctors think they've finally broken him, he surprises them with his inventive acts of violence. But one person has faith in Batman, and that is Bane. Every time Bane caught him and returned him to his cell, he encouraged him not to give up, to keep trying and to keep on improving. After Batman undergoes the surgical procedure, which included a craniotomy, this means opening up the skull to gain access to the brain, and having something inserted into his spine, Doctor Arkham notes that he is the 27th person to undergo this procedure, but is the first to survive it. 27 is a significant number in the Batman mythos because he first appeared in the 27th issue of Detective Comics. There was also that story about how Batman made backup clones of himself that he aged up to the age of 27 to continue as Batman when he got too old or beat up. As for what this procedure is, it's a mystery. I did initially think that he underwent the same procedure as Bane, given the glowing green scars, but then Doctor Arkham said that no one had survived the procedure before. This wouldn't be the first time that Batman had used venom, of course, given that there was a very famous story in Legends of the Dark Knight, where he became hooked on a pill form of venom and had to go cold turkey to be free of it. But I don't think that's the case here. It seems like this whole experience has been about breaking Batman's mind while they augment his body. But Batman shows absolutely no sign of giving in. While the issue ends on a moment of hope, I find myself wondering what other monstrosities Batman and Waylon will find as they try to escape from the depths of Ark M. Absolute Batman number 10 is available now from all good comic shops. If you are based in the UK and don't have a comic shop near you, then you might want to use my affiliate link with the UK's biggest comic book retailer, Forbidden Planet. I have included a link in the pinned comment on this video. Alternatively, if the idea of hoarding a collection of comic books fills you with dread, I did it again. I ordered a couple of dozen issues of Jack Kirby's Commandy series. Why won't anyone stop me? You may want to try getting a digital copy of the issue from Amazon. I also have an affiliate link with them, which you could use to help my channel out. This is also included in the pinned comment. To those that have read this issue, what did you think? How weird is it that someone with the name Arkham ends up working for a place called Ark M? It's almost like it's fate. Sort of like how Doug Bowser ended up working for Nintendo, I guess. All of the flashbacks in this issue featuring Selina Kyle are clearly building to her debut, aren't they? Well, DC Comics' October solicitations were just released, and wouldn't you know, she's going to be debuting in Absolute Batman 13. And just how big is Batman? 6'9" and over 400 pounds? You'd think his mother would mention that on the missing person flyer, rather than thinking about his deep blue eyes. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Next time, I'll be back later this week with a video about Absolute Flash 5, where Wally and his best pal Grodd come face to face with the molten menace Heatwave. But is he a mean-spirited villain or a misunderstood monster? And next week is the 5th week of the month, when DC generally doesn't publish months, so I won't be putting out any videos then. But I will be back in the first week of August to talk about Absolute Wonder Woman 10 and Martian Manhunter 5. Hope to see you then.